So I spent most of my life doing outdoors things, and as a child in Alaska, I spent some time homesteading with my family out by Solana, Alaska. It was about a year and a half or so, give or take. I don't know the exact time frame, but it was quite a while. We built a cabin out there, and we kind of lived off the land and did the whole homesteading thing, and I still have a lot of good memories of that. Growing up, I stayed pretty much connected to the outdoors as much as possible. Once I became an adult, joined the military, got a family, all that stuff. It was less so over the years, and which kind of sucks. And now I'm trying to kind of have a return to my roots and get back to it. That's why you're kind of seeing more videos on blades and different styles of things. And I'm going to incorporate actually camping stuff, probably some fishing stuff back in on my YouTube, and do all kinds of different stuff here, and we'll see how that goes. But in any case, it's really important when you're out doing your thing, whether it's surviving or camping or hiking or hunting or fishing or whatever, that you have tools that they don't necessarily have to be the most expensive, but you want tools that work. And if the tool has multiple uses, that's even better. So and that's why I wanted to go over this axe right here. One thing I like about axes is you can use them for a lot of different things, and it's not just utility around a campsite or for survival type things. You can use it for fire preparation, wood cutting, shelter building. You can use it. You can use an axe to dig a little bit. You can use it for food preparation. You can use it for self-defense uses. That's one big thing, and the reason I say that is I have a Norse background, a Northman background, and back in the day, the axe was a very popular battle weapon for the Northmen. And it wasn't just them, it was a lot of different armies, a lot of different cultures used the axe, and that's because there was multiple. Not only was it really effective on the battlefield as a devastating weapon of war, but it was also good for other uses. It wasn't just something that you wielded on a battlefield. You can use it at your homestead, do whatever you need to do. There's a lot of different things. That's why I really like the tool. So, and along with reviews like this, I hope to get into more camping style reviews and do some other stuff like that. Kind of get back to my roots with the outdoors, and hopefully, you guys and gals will enjoy that. The axe right here, this is from SOG, and I wanted to still focus on budget type stuff. I mean, there's tons of expensive type stuff out there, but I still wanted to focus on budget type stuff because I'm a poor man myself. I don't make a whole lot of money. Certainly don't make much of anything at all off of YouTube. So I saw this at an outdoor store not too long ago, and it's the SOG, just a SOG camping axe, and I liked it. I was like, wow, it was less than $50. I'm like, that's kind of a neat deal. And I have experience with SOG. This is one of their tomahawks right here that I really like. So I said, it's a pretty solid company, so let me try it out. It looks sharp. So I bought it, got it home, messed around with it, started looking at some things, and then now I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. And I think it's a really, really good deal. If you're looking for a multi-use basic little axe, this is something I think you should really take a look at. So specs first. The blade length, 3.1 inches. The overall length is 11.5 inches, and the product weight is 16.10 ounces. So basically just over a pound. It is made in China, so yeah, take that as you will. You can engrave it if you want. It's stainless steel, and this has that glass reinforced nylon handle, just kind of like you see with other SOG products. Is it the strongest handle out there? Well, no, it's not. But for the uses that I think you would use this for, I think it's plenty strong. So overall, that's kind of the specs right here. So let's go over just kind of the design. So here's the axe head. First off, the one thing I like how it's designed with a decent beard right here. I like that. I like this design of axe just because I think it adds a little bit of versatility. You get a good chopping surface. You can also choke up on the axe. This has benefits as far as for self-defense and for utility purposes. The axe head is secured on your handle very well. It's not a full tang or anything like that. It's none of that, but there's still a good securement. I mean, SOG uses it on some of their other stuff and it works. Is it the strongest out there? No, you can still break it if you use it hard enough. But again, for the uses that I would use this for, no issues at all. It does come with a flathead right here for striking. If you need to pound tent stakes, or if you need to, for self-defense purposes, if you want to use a flat edge for self-defense, or if you whatever uses you can come up with, it does have that. The blade itself isn't super sharp. That's okay. You can still sharpen it. It's a relatively soft steel, so you can sharpen it. The overall feel, it's extremely balanced and lightweight. So one thing to note, that because of its lightweight, when you start chopping with it, because of its smaller size, if you're chopping something bigger, if you got something that's bigger than the diameter of the head or whatnot, like a bigger piece of wood, it might take a little bit, but it will chop through. Just know that. This, I think, excels when you're chopping smaller items, and what I would consider a smaller item is anything that has a diameter smaller than the length of this blade right here. So I think that's where it's sweet spot. So if you have smaller branches or whatnot, you can do pretty well. This thing will shave. So if you're looking to shave bark or shave pieces of wood to try and make fire starter or whatnot, it will, just depending on the type of wood. Again, it doesn't have the best edge on it. I don't think it was just meant for that. It'll chop fine, but if you want to find edge, you're just going to have to do it yourself. I don't think that was the intent from the factory, to ship it out with a super sharp edge. So you may need to sharpen it a little bit, but even with the edge from the factory, you can still create some shavings, no problem. One thing that is kind of neat about this is right here, and I've seen this on a couple other YouTube videos, and it's kind of a neat little trick. But right here, this is actually a nice little edge right here. So if you're using a ferrocerium rod or whatnot, use this edge right here, and it does a good job. It creates a good enough spark for you to start a fire. So I kind of like that. I think that's kind of a cool deal. The one thing I would suggest, I'm like, hey, if you're marketing this as a camping axe, maybe have a ferrocerium rod with it. You know what I mean? But that's up to SOG. I just think that would be a neat little, that seems to be the thing, is, hey, here's a little ferrocerium rod to go with it. And that would be kind of a nice little package to throw with this. But in any case, so a good little edge right here. The contours right here are done really well. So my big old fat meat hands right here fit very nice if I need to choke up on this thing. The grippiness of the handle right here is good enough. I probably could increase it. I probably could mess around and do paracord or something if I want, but I don't need to. I actually got a couple little rubber bands right here I put on myself. But it's very grippy. It swings very well, very lightweight. So for the self-defense side, I think this thing would be a good performer in that avenue. It's pretty small, so you don't get exactly the longest reach with it in comparison to something longer like this. But it's very lightweight. So in tight quarters, choking up, or even just swinging down here, you're still going to get a good swing. You're still going to get enough power to do what you need to do and recover from your swings rather quickly. So for self-defense, I think that's pretty good. As far as, just the durability for like batoning and stuff like that, yeah, you can certainly baton with this. There's the profile, hopefully you can see there, of the axe head. So as far as splitting, you can split wood pretty decently. It's pretty thin right here, but it does widen out decently right here. Good enough for splitting, especially if you're splitting smaller size pieces of wood. This will split bigger pieces. It'll just take a little bit more, it seems like. So overall, I mean, remember, for less than $50, I think you're getting a really good deal. It's a decent quality steel. The axe head is pretty. As far as the quality control, everything was nice and tight. The bolts were nice and tight. I didn't have to worry about anything. So good to go there. Again, I really like the beard on this. I like that. I tend to prefer the designs like that. They have a little bit of a beard on the axe, and I can choke up really nice on it. I really dig that. The connection to the handle's good. Everything's good on it. So I don't have any real complaints on this. Actually, no, disregard, I do. So it comes with a little cover for this, and just a little polymer cover, which is fine, and it's great to be able to cover up the blade, but I would prefer that it would actually have some type of either Kydex or whatnot, or something that covers it, something a little bit more utility than just that little thermoplastic or whatever cover that comes with it. That's just my thing. I think that's kind of weak there, but I get it. It's under $50, so something's got to give. But I think if there was a Kydex sheath or something good on there, I think it would be a little bit better. So that's about my one complaint, but the tool itself is good to go. So feel free, again, as always, leave your comments. Let us know whether your experiences are good or bad with this. Now, granted, I haven't talked about throwing this. And I haven't really, I don't recall on my Tomahawk video, I don't recall talking about throwing it, because I'm not a big, that's one thing, I don't really throw axes. I haven't really gotten into that. So somebody else might be able to chime in. I would assume it might be a decent thrower. It seems to be just well balanced and pretty lightweight, but that's just not my thing. So I can't really speak to how well it throws or how durable it is as far as just throwing over and over for an extended period of time. So if you have any of that experience, whether it's good or bad, feel free to throw that in the comment section. So in case somebody here is looking at, okay, maybe I want to use this as a throwing axe, would it work? You can speak to that. So, all right. Thanks a lot for watching as always, and I hope everybody is staying safe out there.